My 27-year-old wife put my 26-year-old male cat to sleep without my permission or knowledge. My cat Willy has been in my family since I was in high school. He was my best friend and only reason I never killed myself. While I was in the hospital with COVID-19, my cat got very sick. My wife took him to the vet, and we were told he needed major surgery. This would cost a lot of money, but I had an emergency fund for exactly this sort of emergency. She didn't schedule it and didn't want to pay for it. She wanted a second opinion, but her second opinion was put him to sleep. She had been lying to me for days saying he was fine and the surgery would be scheduled. I knew something had happened, but I couldn't verify because I was in the hospital. After I got discharged, the first thing I did was look for him. Guess what? He was dead. She put him to sleep. She used the money to put a down payment on a new car. I really wanted to hit her. He was my buddy, my best friend, family, and he was gone. She claims it was the only choice, and spending $8,000 on a cat is absurd. She claims the vet told her it was more humane. But the vet she went to was not our vet, and I did not trust him. She didn't even bother asking me or telling me. She did it without my consent or knowledge. Getting a new car was more beneficial than spending a lot of money on an old cat. It's been 2 days and I kicked her out. I don't know what to do. I loved my cat more than anything. He was my son, my best friend, and now he's gone.
With the loss of a pet, we will go through the grief and loss phase. And so we have to understand a lot of times that this is still a companion. Whether or not it was a lifelong friend, or it was a new puppy or a new kitten, whatever the animal may have been, this was someone in your life that impacted you. So grieving is absolutely okay.
She can claim what she wants. It's not absurd to have funds for animals. We have 3 cats and each of them has a personal emergency fund. She has no right to just put him to sleep. That's what I said. Pets are expensive. Don't have one if you aren't ready to spend on them. But their love is worth it. My cat was more like a dog, honestly. He would wait by my front door every day for me to come home and then jump all over me. He played fetch and knew his name and many commands.
So there are support groups available. I would encourage you to have a support system. This can be friends, family members, co-workers, people who may have known the pet.
Check with your regular vet if your wife took the cat in for checkup or to put him down. If she said she went for a second opinion, I don't believe it. If someone goes to get a second opinion is to make sure is a good outcome. I don't know why, something tells me your wife asked your regular vet to put the cat down. He said no, and she looked for another one. I actually think this is a good idea when you're looking at a very intense surgery that is very expensive. What will the cat's quality of life be after? Are there alternative treatments, like prescription meds for example, not essential oil, that might be more comfortable for the cat but isn't really on the other vet's radar? But all of this was for OP to decide. This was a betrayal. If it's real, which it seems a little much that she would empty the cat fund for a car for herself right after she secretly euthanized his cat. It can't have been a secret that OP deeply cares about this cat, so she thought that would fly? Doesn't that seem just a little far-fetched?
It's also important to be okay with remembering your pet. It's okay to keep a collar or keep a leash or even saying, I just want to have this special for them.
I'm so sorry for your loss. I have to agree with other posters that if my husband did this it would end in divorce. Pets are family and you should do everything you can for them. Without the emergency fund down payment aspect it might be forgivable, but that just shows such a selfish attitude, I wouldn't be able to forgive it. He sounds like he was an amazing companion. Again, I am so sorry for your loss. Aside from that, it was your money that you put aside for this. Even if she wasn't a terrible person who killed your beloved family member while you were in the hospital, she is, would you want to be with someone who can steal from you like that? And yes, her not telling you and not getting your sign-off on using the money is absolutely theft. She feels entitled to your money and to taking away the things that make you happy.
I encourage everyone to be okay with talking about it. If you feel like you need to continue to talk about it, don't feel like you're a burden.
I had a cat like that. A Maine Coon. My soulmate. I understand you. He was special and no one should ever choose for you what happens to your first soulmate. Sorry for that. He sounds wonderful. He absolutely deserved better. Don't let anyone convince you he was just a cat because there's no such thing. Pets are family, I love my kitties like children, and if someone did this to them, I would absolutely go scorched earth. Not only that, but that was your cat, she had no right to your property, this might have literally been illegal. If anyone tells you you're overreacting, then cut them out too, because they're telling you they're shitty people. Yay, I agree. While I would not spend $8,000 on one of my dogs at this point in my life, OP obviously had the money for it. I would have to be in a lot better financial place to be okay with dropping $8K on a pet. OP again had obviously planned for expenses and was okay with spending that amount. The fact that she dropped the money on a down payment for a car is the real kicker in my opinion. It shows that it wasn't the money that was the issue, it was that she valued what she wants more than what OP wants. I don't know if it was money they both saved or how their finances are set up, so I won't go so far as to call it stealing, but it for sure is a violation of trust. Even without the cat issue, it boggles my mind that someone would drop that amount of cash on a down payment or even just buy a car without first talking it over with their partner. I'm honestly not sure if I would be able to move forward after something like this.
That is when I would encourage you to go to therapy, go to a support group. But also be open with reloving a pet.
Kind of makes me wonder if the cat was even sick at all. Maybe she just got rid of it because she thought it was silly to have $8,000 in savings for no reason, in her mind, and she really wanted a new car. I think the worst part is that she lied about having the surgery scheduled and then used the money for something else. We had a cat who was 2 years old by the time I was born. I was 16 and he was 18 when he died of natural old age. I was able to hold him while he died, in the comfort of our own home. He had literally been there my entire life, and I couldn't imagine losing him the way OP did. I'd be divorcing that jerk and never let her step foot inside my house again.
I know sometimes when we lose someone so close to us, it's hard to say, well, I don't want to replace them. But we love, and pets need love. And so there's different areas where we can adopt, and there's different areas where you can even volunteer to just kind of read to the animals or just kind of be there.
I'm not fond of cats. And I'm the kind of person who does think it's more humane to put down sick animals than to spend lots of money on them when they're old and the diagnosis is hopeless. But this diagnosis was not hopeless. Just expensive. And 8 years old is nothing for a cat. I would be absolutely heartbroken as well. This isn't just about the cat alone either. A direct request about something important to OP was blatantly ignored because she felt she knew better or whatever the reason was. Either way, it wasn't good enough. It was his money and his cat. Absolutely appalling. Soon-to-be ex-wife. There is no coming back from this. Props for not hitting her because I honestly wouldn't have blamed you in that scenario. I mean, she literally murdered his friend. If that isn't grounds for divorce, I don't know what is. I agree that cats can live a long life. However, a couple of years ago we had to put down a wonderful little furball who was only 6 years old due to a brain tumor because we could not afford the $10K plus for the exploratory surgery. They were very upfront that they had no idea what the problem was after we spent a few thousand on other treatments. We have had several cats over the years that are like kids to us. I would suggest calling the 2 vets and asking for their time to review the prognosis. It might not help, but it might give you closure. However, that was a massive betrayal of trust and caring. The guy I used to work with hated his family cat, apparently the cat has attitude with only him, they couldn't get on. The cat was attacked and mauled by a dog, and the pet insurance had lapsed a few days prior. He took the cat to the vet, who said putting the cat down would be the easiest thing to do. He got a second opinion, it was a massively expensive operation, about $13K, and he did it in a heartbeat. He still hates the cat, but he said it would have devastated his family to lose the cat, so he had to do everything in his power to keep that cat. The cat's on a regular physiotherapy program and is now an indoor-only cat. It cost him a lot to keep it up, but his family's relationship with that cat is too important. Your partner lied at the end of the day. Knew you wouldn't be happy with the decision, but chose to act that way nonetheless. I get that not everyone is an animal nut and can't process why some people will do so much for an animal. I'd die before I see anything happen to my fur baby, but the deceit is massive arse issue here. It would make me question every piece of information they've said in the past because they've destroyed that trust and don't seem even a little bit remorseful about their actions. I'm sorry about your cat being taken away from you by someone so close to you in a really uncertain time. She didn't even give you a chance to say goodbye. Not only putting the cat to sleep, but immediately taking the savings while he was sick. Holy shit. Did she also insist on you having a life insurance policy?
So slowly integrate yourself back into the lives of animals because pets need us as well. But be okay with grieving your loss.